Greetings YouTube, I'm back on Anthem and we've just had update 1.06 of course drop, and obviously I've already done a video of the 1.05 update and I said the loot system hasn't really gotten any worse. It's exactly the same as it was. Now they've changed it. Now they've fucking changed it. And I'll get on to that in a bit. Well, one of the first things you might notice, because I'm playing on Grandmaster 1, really there's no point me playing on anything except that because I've got a ton of Masterwork gear. But what quickly becomes obvious is that the combat is easier. They have made it a lot easier. It's like that scavenger there, he shouldn't have gone down that quickly. At least he wouldn't have done before this update. I'm in the Interceptor, by the way, which is the lightest of the javelin types. It has the lowest defense, which means that if anything I should be struggling, and I'm really not. I mean, it's probably helped by my team members as well. I don't know what my team members are set at. Let's look at the social menu, see what their level is. So I'm at 628. One of them is less than me, the other two are a bit higher than me. But I seem to be able to do alright on my own. Yeah, that I'm not going to be able to take that guy head on. Not like that anyway. There we go. Trying to retreat. Not doing a very good job of it. There we go. See, I'm just not as vulnerable. I mean, really, I should have been ripped to shreds already. And it's just not happening. Oops. Well, it will if I keep on doing that. I've just lost a third of my shield. It's like they're not really trying that hard. That elite guy went down in melee to an interceptor. I think my teammates have taken out most of the other enemies as well already. Oop, heck. He should have almost killed me there, and he didn't. No. So the combat is way easier. And then we get to the other part of this update. The loot. Oh dear. If anyone deems to open it. Am I going to have to open it? There we go. I just want to see it, all the things pour out of it. So the diamond icons are the items. Those are the things you equip on your javelin. As you can see, there's a blue and two purples. But there's some other glowy stuff around here. There's some green, purple and orange glowy stuff. And that is ember. That is crafting material. You see, we used to get 5 items out of a chest. Not anymore. You get 3. You're down from 5 to 3. Which is a piss take. Now, I know what they're trying to do. I know what they're trying to... I thought I was going to crash into the wall there. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it so that you don't rely so much on getting items anymore. Now, instead, you use crafting to compensate. They're trying to encourage you to use the crafting system. That's all it is. Problem is, the crafting system is, well, shit. Well, to be accurate, the crafting system is unnecessary. That might be a better way, a more accurate way of putting it anyway. You get plenty of loot from the game, and the only way to make stuff is if you have the blueprint to make it. And the only way you get blueprints is by using the piece of gear in question. In other words, to make stuff, you need to already have the stuff that you're after. It's a waste of time, is crafting. The only time I have ever done crafting is right at the beginning, when I actually do not have a particular thing. It's like you'll start with the basic grenade, and I don't know, you want the you've gotten like the venom darts, and you want an upgrade for the grenade, and you haven't got it at the beginning of the game. But that's the only time I've ever used this kind of thing. Otherwise, it's not worth it. Also, as part of this update, apparently the javelins have been powered up as well as the enemies being powered down, so that's handy. Oh, someone else is taking care of that. Good. Yeah. Apparently some people say that the storm javelin hasn't been powered up all that much, but as you can see, well, we've got a couple of Colossus javelins on our team and 2 firewalls out in front, and those insects are getting nowhere near us. Again, this is on Grandmaster 1. We might have had to fight to keep these guys at a distance at one point. It's just not necessary anymore. So let's see what we get out of the second chest, loot-wise, and yeah, we've got 3 purples and some crafting materials. Notice that you don't get much crafting materials. I got like 3 epics and 1 rare ember. It's not much. And granted, you don't need actually, I can't remember if that's how little I use the crafting system. I can't actually remember how much ember you need to make shit. I'm just not interested in it. Why would you be? You can collect all the loot you need. Wreak havoc! Yes! Maybe I should move before it expires. Oh, we got him. Yep, somewhere. Right, so note that the boss still drops 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, it's dropped 6, hasn't it? Yes, it's actually dropped 5 purples and a masterwork. That was actually a bit more than I expected. And then, of course, we've got the Elysium chests. If you've done the daily challenge, now you get an Elysium key, which allows you to open one of these chests. And all of you benefit from opening a single chest. So one person there had an Elysium key. They opened one chest. We all got one item. Don't know why he's trying to flamethrower me. But yeah, obviously if you like playing in groups and you have your own personal squad of 4 people together, it's in your own interest to make sure that you all use an Elysium key at the same time, so you all get 4 items together. But I didn't have an Elysium key, so I couldn't do that. So this is the Elysian artifact, and I have acquired Chimeric Alloy, 90 of. Whoa. That's a crafting material, by the way. It's not... That's not exclusively what you can get. Not crafting material, I mean, but it's usually what you get. Again, who gives a shit? The crafting system is pointless. As for making your own stuff with the crafting system, this is how it works. You have to complete challenges, so... actually, I'll just stick with anvil. I can't remember what the anvil is, but there. If you want to get the green anvil weapon, the green blueprint, so uncommon for the anvil weapon, you have to defeat 50 enemies with this weapon. If you want to get the blue blueprint, which is the rare, you have to defeat 25 elite enemies with this weapon. And if you want the purple epic, then you have to defeat 10 legendary enemies using the weapon. So you have to use the weapon in question to get the blueprint to make the weapon you've already got. It's a waste of fucking time. It's ridiculous. That's another thing. The forge pops up straight away. No loading screen. I don't know why it needed a loading screen in the... Why do all games nowadays have loading screens? Like, why do all these open world MMORPG free-to-play bastardized full-price things, why do they always have millions of loading screens? I'm done. Okay, so there's Artina's Gambit. It's a completed challenge because I got the Masterwork blueprint for it. I have to defeat 10 legendary enemies with this weapon. Which means I have to have it! Already! It's brain dead. It's fucking stupid. Of course, the other thing that this means is that when you recycle gear, you get components back. So I just recycled that weapon there, and in a minute it'll tell me what I got. 1 Epic Ember and 2 Interceptor parts. So you still get crafting parts through that, but because you only recycle stuff, you dismantle stuff and you don't build any more. It's like shrug. Something else I haven't mentioned, by the way, is that before you could only see the level and grade of your weapons and gear. Now you can see your components as well. I like that touch. That should have really been there before, to be honest. There's no reason why it shouldn't have been, because now I can see my entire loadout. I can see where my purples are, where they need replacing. And of course, at this point, I feel obliged to mention that EA has announced that it's laying off 350 of its workforce, 350 people of its workforce, and to be honest, I'm not surprised. I don't have any sympathy for the company itself. I have sympathy for the people who are being laid off, because the executives made a decision to make this game, Anthem, in the same vein as pretty much every other game that's been released recently. Live service. I pointed this out at the end of my review for Anthem, that it's got a warning label on the back of it now that says in-app purchases. It's like a disease within. But, you know, this kind of shit has been going on for ages. And it's only with the advent of Star Wars Battlefront 2 that people outside of the gaming community, outside of the gaming media, have actually become aware of this shit. And it's good that it's now out there, because now companies are having to be careful, because Anthem was designed in the same vein as Destiny. I mean, it's basically a Destiny clone, apart from the fact that, well, the combat is more fun and it's a third-person camera. But it was designed to be a money maker. That's the only reason this game was created. Apparently this game took 7 years to make. 7 years. And when games have a very long and protracted development cycle, it's usually because they've got problems. It's usually because they've hit various road bumps along the way. And you can tell that EA was planning to milk this for... Well, milk us for all we're worth. Because, I mean, the shop over here, we've seen this shop by now. It's got featured items. And, you know, they were trying to get as much cash out of us as possible. And obviously that's not possible anymore. They kept on promising the shareholders that we will keep on making more money than last year. Don't worry about it. This will be a big money maker for us. And they can't do that anymore. Fuck you guys for trying. But of course it's the higher-ups that made that decision. And who's having to pay for it? The workers. This 350 people, when my tongue gets in gear, 350 people are now being laid off at EA. Because of a dumbass decision that their superiors made. Are they going to have to pay the price? No, of course they're not. It's these 350 people, these low-level people, I'm presuming. I forget the areas. Things like marketing and, was it operations or something? I can't remember exactly what they said now. But, you know, they're having to pay the price for this. Not the guys who actually made the decision, who are the ones who actually fucked up. No, it's the ones down below who are just doing what they're told. They're the ones that are getting fired. So yeah, it's worth saying that as well. I honestly do not know why big companies think that this is a good idea. They think they're playing it safe. And they think that by chasing the trend that they're onto a good thing. It's like at the moment, Battle Royale is the big thing. Yeah, well, when they bring out their Battle Royale games in about 2, 3, 4 years, everyone will be fucking sick of them. Or they'll have picked their favourite and they'll stick with it. They won't be interested in your new Battle Royale game. This is going to make us tons of money because all those have made tons of money. No, I'm sorry. Live service, you can only play so many of them. I can only play so many. My favourites in terms of live service are DC Universe Online and Warframe. The rest of them don't really get a look in. Well, okay, I'll be honest, this has actually been getting quite a look in with me because I love the combat. But that's the only part of this game which is great. The rest of it is either meh or shit. Ooh, got something in my eye. Don't say my finger. But you know, I don't get why they chase trends. They think they're being smart, and they're not, because then things like this happen. I have no fucking sympathy for EA. I have a ton of sympathy for the 350 people that now don't have a job because someone else fucked up. Someone else fucked up. I think I'm done. The patch notes for 1.06 are actually insanely lengthy. Not on the console, but online they're insanely lengthy. But those are the main headlines. Yeah, so I think generally speaking they've made the game worse by removing because trying to encourage us to do crafting is bullshit. And it's not as if they've given us extra crafting material on top of the 5 existing items, because they haven't. They've removed 3 or 4 of the items also to put extra crafting stuff in there, so you're getting less items. So if you want crafting done right, look at Warframe, because Warframe is a free-to-play game and you either grind for the resources or you buy the cool thing that you want. That's crafting done right for this model of game. This game should have been free to play. Fuck the full price thing. I think I'm done. I could keep on ranting for ages. That's the problem. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe and share all that jazz. See you next time.